Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to all you sincere brethren. This is called The Chip Will Be Mandatory in 2016. The microchip will be mandatory in 2016. Okay, so I want to go into various articles that I have in front of me. I got excerpts from all these articles, and basically what I want to do, some brothers already bring out these articles before, some are new, but the reason why I got them is to put them together to kind of show you how they've all been released at different times, but to put it together to show you, the story that the elites have already let out, but unless you got an attentive eye, you wouldn't notice it. So I'm going to start. This is the most this is the most recent story, okay? This actually came out recently, but the article I got is 3 years old. It came out in 6th of February 2013. Dogs in England must be microchipped from 2016. It says dogs in England must be microchipped from 2016. Every dog owner in England will have to microchip their animal from 2016 under plans intended to cut a rise in strays. The microchips will be coded with owners' details, and owners who do not comply could face fines of up to £500. Okay. A legal loophole may also be closed, meaning owners could be prosecuted over an attack by their dog on private land. The RSPCA welcomed the proposals, but said it doubted that they alone would make owners more responsible and ensure fewer dogs bite people. Indeed. Okay. Government figures reveal that more than 100,000 dogs are dumped or lost every year at a cost of 57 million to the taxpayer and welfare charities. Ministers hope the change in the law will help reunite owners with lost or stolen pets and relieve some of the burden on animal charities and local authorities. Okay, now when you look at the statistics they have on this article, you come to realize that really it's all bullshit. It says 118,932 strays. Okay, it says 55 898 returned to owner, and it only says 7,000.98 were microchips. So basically, only out of 55,000, basically at 60,000, only 7,000 were returned because they were microchipped. So it don't really work. But if to go through other articles, you're gonna understand the reason why they're doing it. Yeah, the microchipping is a simple solution that gives peace of mind to owners. It makes it easier to get their pet back if it strays, and easier to trace if it's stolen. I'm reading this, and all I'm thinking about is the next article I'm going to read, because they're saying this, and all I'm thinking about is the elites actually thinking about us people down there as dogs. So that's the reason, the change in the law will be effective from the 6th of April 2016. Any owner whose dog is found without a chip and can be traced by local authorities will have a short period of time to have the dog microchip. Laws governing dog attacks will also be extended to cover private property, closing the loophole, which has meant that dog owners whose animals have attacked people on private property are immune from prosecution. Okay, next article. It says Britons could be microchipped like dogs in a decade. This is an article that we brothers have brought out before, and it says this is from the 30th of October 2006. So 10 years later, it's 2016. Humans beings may be forced to be microchipped like pet dogs. And what was the law that was just passed? The chipping of pet dogs. A shocking official report into the rise of Big Brother state has warned the microchips, which are implanted under the skin, allow the wearer's movements to be tracked and store personal information about them. Yeah, personal information like where you live, your banking details, your DVLA, which is your driving details, um, your passport details. All of these different details are being changed from a paper-based format onto a computer-based format, because they're basically preparing for the transition from um, you know from a from I want to say analog, but that's not necessarily the right word, man. But from a paper-based to a digital um, database. Okay, so it says they could be used by companies who want to keep tabs on their employees. As you've seen in Sweden and Switzerland, different various European countries, a lot of employees have been getting a microchip for access into the building. Okay, or by governments who want a foolproof way of identifying their citizens and storing information about them. That's right. And they've showed in various movies and adverts where they use that, even music videos, where that form of technology is being used. The prospect of chipped citizens, with its terrifying echoes of George Orwell's Big Brother's police state in the book 1984, was raised in an official report for Britain's Information Commissioner Richard Thomas into the Slovakia. The prospect of chipped citizens, with its terrifying echoes of George Orwell's Big Brother police state in the book 1984, was raised in an official report for Britain's Information Commissioner Richard Thomas into the spread of surveillance technology. The report, drawn up by a team of respected academics, claims that Britain is a world leader in the use of surveillance technology and its citizens most spied upon in the free world. Okay, and that's very much true. There's a CCTV camera everywhere you turn. It paints a frightening picture of what Britain might be like in 10 years' time unless steps are taken to regulate the use of CCTV and other spy technologies. The report's editor, David, Dr. David Murakami Wood, managing editor of Journal Surveillance and Society, and Dr. Christy Ball, an Open University lecturer in organization studies, claimed that by 2016 almost every movement, purchase and communication could be monitored by a complex network of interlinking surveillance technology. The most contentious prediction is the spread of the use of the radio frequency technology. Okay, and that's and that's right, because when you think about it, I'm gonna have to use England as an example because that's where I'm based. It's my pulse, and this is where I've seen the change in society. Like I said, man, you got the Oyster card, which was brought out sometime off, I believe, in 2004 or 2005. Because I remember when I was in college, we used to use you still had paper tickets were popular. They were cheaper than the Oyster card, and you could still buy. It was probably later than that, because a paper ticket you could buy that, you could change the dates on it, and you can basically what we called flashing, which is just you have a flasher and you just go on a bus and you don't necessarily have to have a legit ticket. And there was other ways you could get cheaper tickets. You could get a day travel card for £1, a child one. You could get, there was many different loopholes for traveling around that age. But then the Oyster card, since then to now, is like even getting a paper ticket up until I say about last year. You could get a paper ticket. Adult travel card was about, I think it's 2 years ago, 2014, 2013. Child adult travel card cost you about £5.40. Now it costs you about, I think it's gone up just because of the new year, but I don't know. But I remember from last year it was £8.20 off peak, and something like £12 peak. So they've increased the prices so high to the point where you need an Oyster card if you want to travel, because it's actually more cheaper to do. So, and they've suspended I'm dealing with the ISA card. I'm dealing with transport right now, and they're basically taking away the what's this thing called, man? The interface where you could interface with the TFL Transport for London employees. They've taken it away. All they can do is basically assist you in topping up your Oyster or buying a ticket you need, but they offer no assistance in terms of you giving them cash or anything like that. That's all being suspended here. So what they're doing is they're making a big transition that really started from last year to this year. They made a big transition into this RFID technology and a cashless form of society. And then when you look at the DVLA, I'd have to look it up, but I don't remember. I haven't checked it in a minute. But basically, they've taken away the paper. Your driving license comes with two pieces of information. You have your driving license or provisional license card, which you have to keep on you more or less at all times, and you have a sheet of paper as well. But they're saying they're taking it away and they're putting it on a database. And then also your passport. Your passport, you have an RFID chip in it now, which is when you go just come from the airport recently. There's a fast track system where if you have the RFID technology in your passport, you're able to just go directly through a machine interface without having to deal with no one. All you do is you stare in the camera, you put your RFID chip on the scanner, and you can go right through. So everything, all these different formats, they've made a big step from these years. We're talking 2016. They made a humongous leap. Because I had a passport as well, them years. I had all these things, provisional license, um, you know, oyster card, and the oyster card. I never used it for shit because I'd rather straight up not pay for travel. I was young. Straight up not pay for travel or buy a child ticket. But now all of them formats is basically you have to conform to society because they've they've basically implemented the RFID technology. Okay, so I want to read on this article now. RFID chips, which can be detected and read by radio waves, are already used in new UK passports and also used in Oyster card system to access the London Transport Network. Okay, I think that's Dan corrected. I had an old passport, but it was still usable. Okay, for the past 6 years, European countries have been using RFID chips to identify pet animals. Okay, so that's what it's been used for. In a report on surveillance society, the authors now warn the call for everyone to be implanted is now being seriously debated. The authors also highlight the government's huge enthusiasm for CCTV, pointing out that during the 1990s, the Home Office spent 78% of its crime prevention budget, a total of 500 million, on installing the cameras. There are now 4.2 million CCTV cameras in Britain, and the average Briton is caught on camera an astonished 300 times every day. This huge enthusiasm comes despite the official Home Office statistics showing the CCTV cameras have little effect on crime levels. Yeah, they write that surveillance society has come about us without us realizing, adding some of it is essential for providing the services we need. Health benefits, education. Some of it is more questionable. Some of it may be unjustified, intrusive, and oppressive. And that's what it is. It's all segueing into the microchip, man. So now, the next, I've got a lot of articles. The next article I want to get into, skim through this, is all Americans to receive microchip implant by 2016 by way of Obamacare. Okay, it's reported that the use of the microchips in Bill H.R. 4872 was located on page 1014 under the National Medical Device Registry. It tells about a Class 2 device that is implantable, and yes, they passed the bill. Okay, so basically, reason why I put that there. Let me actually read this. It is also reported to be possible to even kill people who don't obey. The HR 3962 bill is an exact copy of the HR 320 bill 3200 bill, and the exception is just a few words removed concerning RFID chip ability. I think a 3200 bill is a bill that didn't get passed through, but they just basically changed the words slightly, took out the word RFID chip, and basically this bill that you have now was passed. Okay. Basically says but the ability to chip every citizen of the United States is still in the bill, open bill and read. So, that is set in America as well. So now this is another article I got that I found most recently. This is the main reason that spurred me on to do this article. Okay. So now this is all European newborn babies will be microchipped from December 2016. On December 2016, through Europe, newborn children. On December 2016, through Europe, newborn children will be compelled to take in a subcutaneous, I believe that's under the skin RFID chip. Public clinics in European Union are to be alerted. The chip in inquiry will be contributed with the report sheet on the newborn. This chip will also be an impressive GPS sensor that will task with a micro dispensable battery every 2 years in state clinics. GPS chip grants on edge of error of 5 meters as a statement that is excellent. Okay, it will be linked straight to a satellite which will guide the networks. As forecast, the chip will be essential for kids born after May 2014, but with a present confirmation date until May 2020. So basically, they have steps in place basically for all European newborn babies to be microchipped in December of this year. Okay, so when you add all this information together, you can tell that this year 2016 is a hell of a year, man. They got a lot of, in terms of this prophecy of the microchip, they got a lot on their plate. So that means in order for them to do this as well, man, the legislation is there, but that means that this year is going to be pivotal in terms of false flags. You see what Obama's doing. You had the militia takeover in Oregon, and have Obama basically making an executive order to take away people's rights to guns, basically. So you can see that things are going to happen in terms of false flag gun attacks over in America, false flag terrorist attacks. You had the thing go down in Cologne, Germany. We had the Arabs and all that so-called North Africans, they say, that raped a woman and was doing madness. So they're really conjuring up this year to be that year, man. Okay, so they can lead to the chipping of people in 2016, starting with the babies, and they're saying from 2 years and up, 2 years back. So that's just Egypt all over again. Like they said that take the babies of 2 years and throw them in the, basically they're throwing them into the lake of fire, basically giving them the microchip. So you can see how everything happens again and again. It happened in Egypt during the time of Moses. It happened in Jerusalem during the time of Yahushua, and it's happened now again in spiritual Egypt and spiritual Rome, Babylon. It's happening now today again, where they're gonna they're casting everyone 2 years to death, basically 2 years and below into death. Okay, so this is the last piece of information I got. This is all Americans will receive a microchip implant in 2017. NBC News reports. NBC has recently predicted that in 2017, all of America will be tagged with microchips that will be implemented to help identify individuals immediately. According to the report, the technology is used to answer one question: am I who I say I am? Some worry, however, that the RFID microchip will give the government too much power, allowing them to track every move. In some states like Virginia, legislation is in process to stop this from happening. The report also reveals the RFID brain chip that has been developed as currently being tested on several humans. And that's a report that came out in 2007, NBC News report, which now has been basically me check out the time we're in now has basically got importance greater than it had back then. So I want to finish off with this scripture. It's in Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. That's right, the turn of this year, he knows that he has a short time. So Baba Kashar will be out of here. So I want to say all praise to Yahweh, Hashem El Shai, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom. Hope that you were edified. Shalom.